Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Нашите предавания предлагат много езици. Моля вижте suprememastertv.com/schedule.
If we move towards a plant-based diet, obviously that is going to bring enormous harmony and peace and compassion. It will just allow our society to become less violent. You know, there's a great Albert Schweitzer said, while there are abattoirs and slaughterhouses, there will be wars. That's a very interesting philosophy.
Supreme Master Ching Hai gratefully present the Honorable Mark Pearson the Shining World Leadership Award for Compassion with humble gratitude, praise, and love in God's mercy. May you be protected as you try to protect the innocents. For the love of animals, Australia's The Honorable Mark Pearson, Vegetarian, Part 2 of 3. Continue watching to find out more.
Sveiki means hello in Latvian. I'm Elita. The people of Latvia send you much love and positive energy. Welcome to part 2 of our 3-part series, For the Love of Animals, Australia's The Honourable Mark Pearson, Vegetarian.
Warning: you might find the content herein disturbing, but the truth must be revealed.
Mr. Pearson is currently a member of the New South Wales Legislative Council representing the Animal Justice Party and a Shining World Leadership Award for Compassion Laureate. Before his election to the council, he spent 22 years as the executive director of Animal Liberation, a non-profit organization whose primary focus is protecting farm animals. While with the organization, his compassion for animals moved him to engage in many dangerous activities, some of which were even considered illegal.
I've been working with Animal Liberation since 1992. So over that time, I've been to a lot of properties. I've committed trespass. I've broken the law many times. In order to go over the fence, get into the shed, open the door to the hidden animals. They're kept out of sight, and they want them to be out of mind because they're in intensive farming. They're factory farming. They're kept in extremely confined spaces, and the industry doesn't want the world to see that. They don't want their consumers to see that. So part of my job through all this time is to, with others, many others have been involved, to take picture and the video, publish it, and then deal with the courts afterwards. I have no conviction because the courts see the balance. Okay, a person has entered enclosed lands and trespassed, not lawful, unlawful. But the fruits of their trespass was not to commit burglary or theft or to harm, but rather expose what many might think is harm. So the court has to balance it this way.
In his current role as a Member of Parliament, Mr. Pearson continues working tirelessly to improve the welfare of animals. He frequently introduces parliamentary bills to outlaw various aspects of animal cruelty, including painful practices in the horse racing industry and in sheep farming.
Part of what our work is to get the Parliament to ask questions about practices that have been there for a long time and now are in question. So Emma, she's bringing in a bill about speciesism against animals. It'll get thrown out, and then it'll get thrown out, but the numbers who will vote for it will increase. So just like Richard Martin in 1858, I think it was, who brought the first legislation to protect animals in Britain, in the world. It was called the Cattle Protection Act. It took him 5 attempts. So that's what it is. I will get some changes with the mulesing and we will get some changes with the horse racing, but we won't get everything we want. But you come back. So tenacity is the name of the game. Just hold on and don't get angry. You can get a bit angry, but don't become bitter and twisted. That's very important.
Mark believes that ultimately there is only one way to truly protect the lives of animals: the widespread adoption of a vegan lifestyle. In addition to improving animal welfare, this shift would have many other benefits for our planet.
If we move towards a plant-based diet, obviously that is going to bring enormous harmony and peace and compassion. It will just allow our society to become less violent. You know, there's a great Albert Schweitzer said, while there are abattoirs and slaughterhouses, there will be wars. Now, that's a very interesting philosophy. So wherever in one little corner, one little hidden place, there is violence, it's impossible to stop violence because there's violence. So it's that degree that we have to see it with that intensity and that perception. So I think my view is that we are actually moving that way. I mean, in some countries, intensive farming is proliferating, but I think it's doomed. It's going to fall over because, like the Paris Summit said, the strain on the environment and our resources, putting aside animal welfare, it is illogical in terms of the survival of the planet to keep going in that direction. So just scientifically, business thinking, we have to move away from it. So I think there's a lot more understanding of compassion and concern for animals, and that's very important. But I think also the practical and logical business model thinking, these are now going to come together and I think eventually help the world.
Animal-loving viewers, we'll stop now for a moment to pray for world peace and a compassionate vegan planet. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Peaceful viewers, welcome back to our interview with the Honorable Mark Pearson. Mark believes that animals may live in a way that is different from the way we humans do on this planet. How they communicate with one another, how they build societies, and so on is difficult to understand at times. For Mark, comprehending that animals have a metaphysical existence could benefit us more than just trying to understand how animals' lives work. For decades, humans have conducted behavioral experiments on animals, hoping to discover more about the way they think and act. Mr. Pearson shares his views on such animal experimentation.
I think when you understand that animals have an extraordinarily powerful, complex world that they live in, and they probably don't think, but they observe, and so there's a mystery about animals. And I think it is really important and very heartwarming and very nourishing for us is to try and grapple with that and be comfortable without us having to completely understand it. There's nothing wrong with perceiving and observing mystery, and that awe is much more comforting to us than analytical knowledge about how the animal responds to such X stimulus or Y stimulus. And therefore we experiment on them because we want to know how they respond. Well, just leave them alone. There's nothing wrong with living and with a mystery. In fact, it's exciting. And be aware that our mind, thought, is extremely limited. It can only understand certain things, conceptualize certain things, and do intellectual work. The other inspirations and perceptions come from something else, and thought might try and record it and struggle with it. But I think the closer you come to the sense of awe and delight in seeing the mystery and beauty of an animal and its majesty and not wanting to control it, then you become a much better person, and the best in you is nourished by that relationship. So I think that's very important.
Mark believes that if people truly understood the immense suffering that meat consumption causes for animals, they would immediately adopt a plant-based lifestyle. He wishes that all beings on Earth, even the animals, were vegan.
If I were to have made the Earth or the world, I think I would have kept the animals vegetarian or vegan, because it is rather awful to look at a big cat bring down a bullock, or it's an ugly thing to see. But the cat doesn't kill any more animals than it needs to survive, for its family and itself to survive. It doesn't set up a shed where thousands of animals are kept and then moved on to slaughter. So even though it's ugly to us, at the end of the day, we're causing far, far, far more by our reliance on animal flesh and animal products. And the sinister thing is that in most countries, you know, people sit down to their meat and with their knife and fork, cutting into their knife and fork, unaware that far in the distance, in a valley somewhere, animals are being slaughtered, and your action here is implicated. You are connected to that sorrow, to that fear, and it's in the food you're eating. So what's happening to you when you consume the flesh of another who's suffered fear and distress?
Mark also refers to the 3-year-old Brazilian boy, Luis Antonio, vegetarian, and a touching conversation with his mother about humans should not eat animals.
I don't think we'll ever get the correct answer to that, but children get that very quickly. So, I'm eating octopus is a very good one. Little boy said, "Oh, I'm eating octopus. How many legs? Where's the head? Mummy, does it have a head or just legs?" And then he starts asking questions. And then he said, "Oh no, I just want to eat the vegetables now."
The little boy, Luis Antonio's genuine words of compassion for the animals have inspired millions of people to rethink their diets and adopt veganism.
When we eat animals, they die. I don't like it. I like them on their feet, happy. We must look after them, not eat them. Luis Antonio, vegetarian.
Honorable Mark Pearson, we appreciate your words of wisdom and deep respect for the lives of animals. We pray that you will continue your noble work with courage and empathy under the protection of heaven. Supreme Master Qinghai gratefully present the Honorable Mark Pearson the Shining World Leadership Award for Compassion with humble gratitude, praise and love in God's mercy. May you be protected as you try to protect the innocents. Supreme Master Qinghai is deeply grateful to the beloved God for all the financial help, comfort and support to the afflicted and needy and or any good cause over the years, as a humble vessel for hers, neutral term for his or hers, compassion and love toward his precious children. For more information about the Honorable Mark Pearson, please visit markpearson.org.au. Sympathetic viewers, thank you for being with us for our show today. Please join us again next Saturday, November 28th, for the concluding episode. Coming up next is Mind Body Chi, Dr. Wen B. Chen's Marvelous Relaxation Exercises, Part 1 of 5, right after Noteworthy News. May you feel embraced and loved by the inner light and music.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/GG.